Welcome to the Namibia Oil and Gas Podcast, your weekly gateway to the latest news and developments shaping Namibia's dynamic oil and gas sector. It's Friday, 15 May 2026, and I'm Harrison Musimuko with the latest news, updates, and insights from the Namibia oil and gas industry. Let's dive in. This week's top headlines. Stampa advances Namibia offshore portfolio with PEL 102 extension. Namibia establishes new Green Industries Council. Namibia EU Business Forum strengthens green trade and investment ties. Oregen appoints former Impact Oil and Gas executive as strategic advisor. Hyphen, AHK and GIZ drive supplier development for green hydrogen sector.
Namibia's oil and gas industry is evolving. Are you ready to lead the way? RD Namibia Energy Consultancy is your trusted partner in natural resources media management, data analytics, and stakeholder engagement. We're building a first-of-its-kind resource hub, shaping the future with cutting-edge digital assets. Whether you're a local enterprise or an international investor, now is the time to connect. Partner with RD and navigate Namibia's energy sector with confidence. Visit www.namibiaoilandgas.com today.
Stampa advances Namibia's offshore portfolio with PEL 102 extension. Stampa Oil and Gas Corp has announced continued progress across its offshore Namibia portfolio, including a one-year extension of Petroleum Exploration License 102, and further technical advancement initiatives across several offshore licenses. The company said the extension was approved by Namibia's Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy and extends the current exploration period to October 2026. During the extension period, partners are expected to continue technical work programs, including 3D seismic planning, prospective evaluation, sequence stratigraphic analysis, and further assessment of geological risks and opportunities. Stampa CEO Grayson Anderson said growing activity by major international oil companies across the Orange, Wolfish, and Luderis basins continue to validate the company's broader multi-basin strategy. Recent developments include BP moving into the Wolfish Basin and increasing regional activities by operators such as TotalEnergies and Chevron. Stampa also confirmed that it continues to evaluate farm-out opportunities and technical partnerships across key licenses, particularly PEL 106 and PEL 107, and Namibia's offshore sector gains momentum and investment attention. Stampa also confirmed that it continues to evaluate farm-out opportunities and technical partnerships across key licenses, particularly PEL 106 and PEL 107, as Namibia's offshore sector gains momentum and investment attention. Namibia establishes new Green Industries Council. The government of Namibia has approved the establishment of a new Green Industries Council, replacing the former Green Hydrogen Council as part of a broader effort to accelerate industrialization and economic diversification. The announcement was made by Emo Theophilus during the cabinet briefing following meetings chaired by President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah. According to Cabinet, the new structure will oversee Namibia's wider green industrialization agenda, with responsibilities focused on policy contribution, institutional alignment, and strategic investment priorities. The Council will be chaired by the Director General of the National Planning Commission and will include several key government institutions, among them the Ministries of Finance, Industries, Mines and Energy, Environment, Urban and Rural Development, and International Relations and Trade, as well as the Bank of Namibia. The establishment of the Council reflects Namibia's growing focus on renewable energy, green hydrogen, industrial development, and long-term economic transformation as the country positions itself as a regional hub for green industries. Namibia EU Business Forum strengthens green trade and investment ties. The second Namibia EU Business Forum 2026 officially opened in Windhoek this week, reinforcing economic cooperation between Namibia and the European Union while highlighting growing collaboration in green industrialization, renewable energy, and sustainable trade. The forum was opened by Carrie Mboende and Jessica Roswell under the theme Towards Stronger, Greener and More Diversified Economies. With a comment on this, the EU's ambassador to Namibia, Ms. Anna Beatrice Martins.
The second Namibia EU Business Forum, held in Windhoek over 3 days, was a resounding success. We had over 1,000 applicants to participate in the event that could fit 400 people, so we had a 400 number of participation for the event and several hundred participants online over the 3 days, where we held intense discussions on sector matters, policy matters, as well as best practices of investments and experiences of best practices of businesses in Namibia on the 5 sectors that were covered: green industrialization, critical raw material value chains, creative industries, automotive sector, and the agricultural sector. So this was also to explore new sectors in our relations with Namibia. The EU is already Namibia's one of the largest trading partners, the most diverse export market for Namibia. And indeed, we celebrated the 10-year trade relations under the Economic Partnership Agreement, which provides tariff and quota-free free access to our market.
The 3-day forum has brought together more than 400 participants, including government leaders, investors, policymakers, development finance institutions, and private sector representatives from Namibia and Europe. Discussions are centered on renewable energy, green hydrogen, logistics, critical raw materials, and private sector development. The event also highlighted the progress made since the launch of the EU-Namibia Strategic Partnership on green hydrogen and critical raw materials in 2022. According to organizers, bilateral trade between Namibia and the European Union reached 17.6 billion Namibian dollars in 2025, supporting thousands of local jobs across sectors including agriculture, mining, fisheries, and manufacturing. The forum is expected to further strengthen investment ties while positioning Namibia as a growing hub for sustainable industrial development in Africa. Oregen appoints former Impact Oil and Gas executive as strategic advisor. Oregen Energy has appointed veteran petroleum geoscientist Philip Birch as a strategic advisor as the company advances its offshore Namibia strategy in the Orange Basin. Birch previously served as Exploration Director at Impact Oil and Gas and played a significant role in identifying and advancing the Venus prospect prior to its successful drilling by Total Energies, one of the largest oil discoveries in sub-Saharan Africa. Birch will assist in evaluating a potential investment block 2812AB, located near the Venus discovery within the same highly prospective petroleum fairway. The appointment comes as the company continues to expand its presence in Namibia's Orange Basin, where it already holds a substantial interest in Block 2712A. Oregen and Birch's deep understanding of the basin's geology and exploration systems will support technical assessment, exploration strategy, and broader portfolio positioning as the company seeks to strengthen its role within one of the world's most closely watched frontier basins. Hyphen, AHK, and GIZ drive supplier development for green hydrogen sector. Namibia's green hydrogen sector continues to gather momentum with Hyphen Hydrogen Energy, AHK Southern Africa, and GIZ hosting an enterprise supplier development workshop in Windhoek on the sidelines of the EU-Namibia Business Forum 2026. The workshop focused on strengthening Namibian enterprise participation in the emerging green hydrogen industry and broader industrialization agenda, while bringing together development finance institutions, commercial banks, government stakeholders, and business support organizations to discuss practical solutions to challenges facing local businesses. With a comment on this, Johannes Shipepe, Senior Economic Development Manager at Hyphen Hydrogen Energy.
So, as a build-up to us developing our enterprise and supplier development program, coupled with the work that we're doing with GIZ through the H2UP initiative, we thought it would be important to understand the ecosystem and the lay of the land as far as enterprise and supplier development is concerned for Namibia. So we thought it would be useful to invite a number of key stakeholders that operate in the enterprise and supplier development ecosystem and engage them on some of the key issues around the role that they play, some of the pain points, constraints, but also where the opportunities are for us to develop a robust enterprise and supplier development program. So we hosted that workshop with some of these key stakeholders on the sidelines of the EU Namibia Business Forum to just start the conversation with many of the stakeholders and sort of set the tone for continued engagements and platforms where we can discuss some of these items.
Discussions centered on access to finance, procurement readiness, qualification barriers, technical capability as Namibia positions itself for large-scale green industrial development. Hyphen says the initiative forms part of its broader enterprise and supplier development program, supported through matched funding, secured under the German-blocked H2UPP initiative. With the company advancing Namibia's first large-scale green hydrogen project under an agreement with government, the workshop highlighted the importance of encouraging local businesses. The workshop highlighted the importance of ensuring local businesses are equipped to participate meaningfully in the country's growing green hydrogen value chain and wider industrial economy. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Namibia Oil and Gas Podcast. I'm Harrison Musimuko. If you'd like to contribute with news and information, please contact us at info@namiboilandgas.com. For more news, information, resources, and updates of the week, visit www.namibiaoilandgas.com. Whether you're an industry professional, an investor, or simply curious about this exciting sector, feel free to share our podcast and follow us on your favorite podcast player. Join us next time as we continue to explore the top stories driving Namibia's energy future.